To be a global teacher, you need to encompass a concept of culturally responsive teaching, focusing on using developed cultural knowledge, prior experiences, frames of reference, and performance tasks to develop learning outcomes that are more relevant and effective for ethnically diverse students. Each teacher will always have a different definition of what global teaching is, as it is a diverse and ever-changing concept. So, to effectively be a global teacher, one needs to use a variety of teaching strategies to provide students with the ability to grow and be nurtured into young adults who are advocates for the ones who cannot advocate for themselves. So, using worldwide perspectives to link their own personal experiences and the students' experiences to broader global context, valuing diversity by ensuring that their classroom and school setting is inclusive for the ever-growing and changing pool of diverse learners, and ensuring to actively embed cross-curriculum connections in each lesson, ensuring that they are representative of critical thinking and inquiry. Furthermore, by using and gaining 21st century innovative skills and strategies, it reflects the needs of a growing and diverse classroom. This will assist a global teacher to encourage social responsibility and socio-political awareness in students, and empower those students to prompt local action to improve both local and global conditions. So, how do you recognize a global teacher? There are 10 characteristics to being a global teacher that were identified by Suplessa and Manish. However, I have personally selected 4 that resonate with me most and support my presentation. So, firstly, understanding one's own cultural identity and its influence on personal dispositions and classroom practice is a key characteristic of a global teacher, as by understanding one's own cultural identity, it is vital for global teachers as it fosters cultural sensitivity and inclusivity in the classroom. It helps teachers communicate effectively with diverse students, avoids biases and stereotypes, and it builds strong relationships. So engaging students in learning about the world and exploring their place in it is critical, because this naturally encourages us to engage in critical reflection of our own individual perspectives, biases, and potential advantages that we as educators might carry with us into the classroom. Creating environments that encourage positive cross-cultural interaction is of primary importance, because it is promoting cultural understanding, effective communication, conflict resolution, and prepares students for a globally connected future. By implementing this approach, it creates an inclusive environment for diverse students. Finally, advocating for global education and social responsibility is an essential characteristic that a global teacher must characterize, as we are fostering and nurturing the future generations of students who are going to become globally aware, compassionate, and active in key issues, and are aiming to make a change. So these are very important as a globally aware teacher to impact the learning of students. It directly correlates with the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which were created in 2015, established in 2016, to eradicate a whole host of issues that are negatively affecting the world by 2030. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon stated that they are to-do lists for people on the planet and a blueprint for success. So whilst all 17 of these goals are essential to every individual, we are going to be focusing on number 4, which is quality education, which is defined as to teach students skills that are genuinely transferable to the outside world from the classroom. So quality education is a critical evaluation of one's own pedagogy and teaching frameworks and the overall westernized educational framework in Australia. This is necessary to judge whether the global teaching practices are genuinely integrated into our teaching and learning processes, or if they're merely just serving as face value rather than being an active implementation into our frameworks. Assessing the impact of environment is one approach to critically evaluate the curriculums that are employed and the pedagogical techniques that we're using. It prompts us to consider whether or not our students are being equipped with the knowledge, skills, and resources required to address the global environmental challenges effectively. In a day and age that globalization is and the rich combination of cultures and worldviews, it is imperative that education needs to remain accessible and equitable for a wide array of migrant students. The political side of education refers to the forces that shape the priorities of Australian education issues and emphasise the importance of constantly evaluating our curriculum, as it is influenced by power of a few, but it affects many. The economic structure of Australia has concretely established the idea of education as an investment instead of an inherent right, which the government is constantly seeking a return on this. So with this in mind, how do we take these considerations into tangible classroom practices? So there are a multitude of opportunities to become a global teacher, some in a school setting, some in the broader community. In a school setting, the main priority, as mentioned before, is to create an inclusive, safe, and differentiated environment for all students. Incorporating the resource smart schools assist global teachers tremendously, as this is a local Victorian government program which focuses on sustainability and embeds it into the curriculums of schools. They hold modules on energy, biodiversity, water, waste, and a lot more. These resources can actually be directly linked to Year 7-8 geography about water, as which the Victorian curriculum codes to VCGGK 106, 110, 113, 115, 119, and 126, and it uses student knowledge about and for the environment to discuss climate change, sustainability, and regards to sustainable resource use and changes in cultural values. This resource can assist students in becoming more globally minded, as by getting students to research specific areas and present their findings about how the misuse of land and the resources can result in certain issues such as erosion or deforestation, or how did the building of roads, houses, fencing, damming of rivers affect natural physical features of the area. And how would this continue the impact to the environment, citizens, and wildlife, and what are the changes that need to be made? To take these opportunities to more of a wider scale than just a classroom setting, global teachers can be incorporated into community gardens, be involved in charity organizations, have a professional development that is linked towards being sustainable and global centered, and also advocating for change. After discussing how these teachers have a multitude of opportunities, I have one question for you. How would a global teacher be able to combine both school and broader community settings to increase awareness? So these opportunities can be resourceful for solutions of tackling multitude of global challenges, including issues like construction and litter. These can be readily customized to reach and involve specific stakeholders, both locally within the community and on a global scale. So I just want to leave you with one last thought. As an aspiring global educator yourself, how are you going to take what you've learned from this presentation and enact it into your curriculum and pedagogy? Thank you.